Heaven wept when Ferdowsi died, because Earth had failed to honor one of its greatest defenders. Have you ever wondered if a poem could save a civilization? Welcome to Lost Pages of Eternity, where echoes of the past whisper truths to the present. If you're drawn to the wisdom of ancient poets and the hidden power of words, subscribe now, because this is where empires rise not by sword, but by soul. Ferdowsi, the man who, with nothing but ink and breath, resurrected an empire long buried. In the 10th century, Persia was crumbling. Centuries of Arab rule had buried its language, its heroes, and its soul. Arabic was the tongue of power. Persian was fading, softly, almost imperceptibly, like a dream forgotten at dawn. And yet from the small city of Tus, a poet emerged, not with rebellion but with a pen. His weapon, a book, his battlefield, the human heart. That book would become Shahnameh, the Book of Kings. 60,000 verses, 30 years of solitary labor. One man's answer to cultural extinction. Imagine the candlelit nights. Ferdowsi, hunched over parchment, copying the memories of a forgotten Persia. Zoroastrian myths, ancient dynasties, fallen heroes, Rustam, Sohrab, Zahak, their names crackling like firewood in his verses. While caliphs built armies, Ferdowsi built memory. While empires conquered land, he conquered time. This wasn't just nostalgia, it was resistance. He wrote in Persian when it was dangerous to do so. Every line was a quiet defiance. And his goal, to preserve the spirit of Iran when its body had already been conquered. Now pause for a moment. We are taught that empires are built by emperors, that banners and battalions shape history. But what if that's only half the truth? Ferdowsi didn't just write a book, he restored a national identity. After the Shahnameh, Persian returned, not just as a spoken language, but as a royal language across dynasties. Turks, Mongols, Mughals, all who ruled Persia or its echoes, chose to speak in Ferdowsi's Persian. Through his verses, kings were inspired, warriors were molded, and forgotten glories were reborn. He built an empire of memory. And here's the twist. Ferdowsi died poor. He wasn't celebrated. He wasn't paid. He was buried outside the city walls because of his religious views. And yet, today his tomb is a national monument, his words immortal. So tell me, what builds an empire more? Gold or remembrance? Let me share one story. From the Shahnameh, a warrior named Rustam unknowingly fathers a son, Sohrab. Years later, on opposite sides of a war, father and son meet on the battlefield, strangers to one another. Rustam kills Sohrab. Only afterward does he discover the truth. And when he knew, his heart burned in a grief no fire could match. Is a story of fate, loss, and regret. A story that mirrors countless human tragedies. And this, dear viewer, is where poetry transcends time. Because haven't we all, in some form, lost something we didn't know we loved? In a world drowning in noise, poetry whispers truth. Ferdowsi's tale reminds us, when our identities are erased, when our histories are rewritten, it is the poets, not the politicians, who light the way back home. In every colonized nation, every silenced tongue, every lost culture, you'll find a Ferdowsi. Maybe today, it's someone writing in a forgotten dialect. Maybe it's you. Empires rise on steel, but they endure through stories. And as long as his verses are recited, Ferdowsi lives. As long as memory matters, the Shahnameh remains more than a book. It is a fortress built on verse. So the next time someone says, words are just words, remember the man who used them to save a civilization. If this story moved you, if you believe that literature has the power to shape destiny, join us. Subscribe to Lost Pages of Eternity and become part of a legacy that refuses to be forgotten. Let not my labor be lost, Ferdowsi once prayed. Let us be the answer to that prayer.